Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Paul Brown Show. We're shooting live from 2 Expose You Studio. We have Mr. Darrell Goodman, he's the founder. Mr. Ray Harvey, he's chief engineer. And Miss Shantae, who is that? I hope I'm saying your name right, young lady. She's also with the group. Welcome, ma'am. How you doing? And today we're going to be I'll be talking a little bit about, I know we had a death of Mr. DMX or Mr. Earl Simmons, as a lot of his name is now known, but we're going to be talking about addiction and exactly that lifestyle, because I too am a recovering addict, and I also dealt with what DMX was dealing with, and there was a lot of people that's out there in society who has dealt with that. Some of us have beat it, some people have died because of it. Okay, DMX, he died on April 9th, 2021. He was in, a drug overdose. He was in the hospital, I guess, and then they took him to some type of location where he was able to die peacefully. But because of that drug overdose, he just can beat that demon of drug addiction. They said that he started using drugs when he was at the age about 14 or something like that. Somebody gave him that drug. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, at age 14, he should have probably went to treatment or something. I mean, there's just certain things that we try to get over, but there's some drugs that you just fight, you just can't do it. I mean, there's a lot of people, they don't want to use those drugs. They don't want to be an addict. They don't want to be stuck in doing things, living in a lifestyle of getting high on a regular basis or letting drugs control their life. That's not how they want to live. They want to live a normal life like other people. But for some reason, there's something about those drugs that cause them to have to use, because them drugs takes them to forget about some of the things that's going on in their lives. I use drugs because it allowed me to get away from reality. And I'm assuming that that drug would solve the problem, but in reality it never did. All it did is made me forget temporarily about that problem, but once that drug wore down, that problem's still there. I probably just made it bigger by using drugs that whole time. Whether it's financial, whether it's in relationship or whatever, we tend to just try to use drugs just to get away from that, whatever we're dealing with, whatever we're struggling with. DMX made a statement, just because you stop getting high doesn't mean that you don't have a problem. And that's so true, because as an addict, I will always understand that I will always be an addict until the day I die, because I'm one step away from going back to using drugs again. So I got to live a lifestyle of whatever I should happen to go through. I got to remember that I don't have to use in order to solve that problem. You don't have to use. We got millions of people that are out there in addiction that they go to treatment and they become clean and they live their lifestyle, and then they go back out because they think that just because they got a couple of clean time that they are okay, they're all right. But no, because once you use that drug again, you might be clean for 10, 20 years. Once you use that drug again, it's going to be like you started from where you started from 20 years ago, and it's going to get even worse. So you got to remember, if you have someone that's in your family, friends who are out there in addiction, they don't want to be using drugs, but it's just something about that drug that makes they love that drug over their family, they love that drug over their friends, They love that drug over money, because DMX had money. Whitney Houston, she died, overdose. She had money. You got a lot of athletes. You got athletes. They can't pass a drug test because, and they have millions and millions of dollars that's out there that they're willing to give up because, and all they have to do is pass that drug test. And they'll fail that drug test over and over and over again because of the fact that they love that drug more than they love living. So they will continue to use, and they'll end up losing everything that they worked for just to get that high, that last minute high. And a lot of people just don't understand that. I mean, it's like you have to be in their shoes to understand exactly what they're going through. So, you know, it's like, it's not a fun lifestyle. No, it's not. It's real bad. You know, I got clean on August 25th, 1997. And the only reason I got clean because I got that 3 strike in Charleston. And after I went to court, the judge told me, my cousin and my father, they was going to sentence me to 10 years in prison. And my cousin, he was a vocational rehab specialist. He went to that judge, him and father, and I don't know who did what or whatever, but they convinced that judge to send me to a drug treatment place. And so they gave me either Atlanta, a place in North Carolina, some Rocky Mountains, North Carolina, or Charlotte. They selected Charlotte. It's the closest place to Charleston. I can come down and visit Charleston. So I selected Charleston. So since 1998, I'm in Charlotte, and I've been there ever since. And I'm living a lifestyle, you know, and through the grace of God, I live one day at a time without using that drug. And, you know, I travel to Charleston to see my family because, you know, I love them, and I'm trying to show them that, you know, today I'm not using. Every time they see me come down here, I think they can remember when I was out there using. And every time they see me come down, they know, okay, he all right, just for the day. Just for the day. You know, he's trying to better himself. He's trying to do whatever it takes to try to do, because he gave up a lot of things in order to, because of that drugs. See, y'all don't understand. You give up a lot of stuff when you start using that drug. You give up material things. They don't mean nothing to you. All you want to do is get high. You sell stuff. You rob a person. You rob your own family member. Just to get that high, that money to get high. Just to get something to sell to the drug person, just to get high. I know a lot of people don't realize or understand that that's reality, but for an addict, that's reality. You know, and it's scary too, because of the fact that you can, you know, you kill your own relative, you kill your own child if they didn't give you the money that you wanted so that you can get your drug. And you got some people that do that. You got some addicts out there who go to that point to automatically kill a family member or kill a friend or kill a neighbor just to get that money to get that next high. So today, you know what I'm saying, as we looked at DMX, I mean, he was a great artist. He was in a lot of movies. He sung. I mean, he was a great artist, but he just couldn't beat that addiction. It was something of that. I mean, it was something of that addiction that he kept on going back into in order to just to live. And eventually it got to him. I heard that when he started his shows and when he ended, he would pray. That's strange to some people, you know. How could you be out there in addiction, but still be praying? And we all, let me tell you, even when you out there in addiction, you still believe God is with you. Because I went a lot of places, and I went places that I know I'm supposed to be dead today, because I went in some neighborhoods in different cities that to get that drug that I know if it wasn't for God on my side, I know somebody had me in their sights to want to kill me and rob me just to take my money, just to take my money, because they knew I had money. But because of God, he got me out of that neighborhood just in time so that I can make it through. So I always prayed to God that, just to help me make it through just that one day. Just one day. Just give me one more day. And he kept on giving me that chance, one more day. He gave DMX. I'm going to give you the opportunity to get clean, but it's up to you. It's up to anybody who's out there getting high. It's up to you to make that decision that you want to stay clean. I can't make that decision for you. Your family member can't make that decision for you. Your friends can't make that decision. You got to make that decision. So no matter how much time you go to treatment, if you ain't made that decision in your mind that you want to stay clean and you want to live that lifestyle, you're going to always go back out there and get high. And that's reality. They had this pandemic going on back in 2020, we had this pandemic going on. And some people who just started getting clean, they go to these drug treatment, they go to these NA meetings, they had to sneak around to have NA meeting because they know they can't live without going to a meeting. They got to hear someone talking about how they made it just that one more day without using drugs. So while you were in the house being quarantined and all that, they probably was somewhere snuck in somewhere having a meeting, just trying to beat that, because that demon of trying to stay clean. Because they do everything repetitiously. Every day they got to have that meeting and hear someone telling them that just for one day you can make it without the use of drugs. So they have these meetings and they go to them. And you got some people with 20, 30 years clean time. They still go to these meetings because they got to hear someone tell them that whatever you go through life, you don't have to use in order to make it. That drug, whoever invented that crack cocaine, they created a monster. That thing is a monster, because let me tell you, that thing hits something in your head, and once that thing get inside you, it hits something in your brain that tell you, it makes you crave for it. And you don't want it until you get some money. And once you get some money, next thing you know, I can just get a little piece and then I'll be all right. Then that little piece turns into, okay, once you smoke that, then it's like, okay, I might well go ahead back and get some more. So really the drug man, he just standing there waiting. He just sitting in the house waiting. Because he know you're coming back. If he got some good stuff, he know you're coming back. It's just a matter of time. And then you come back for some more. And then you trying to penny pinch. Okay, I'm going to get 20 more. I'm going to get 20 more. 20 more. And then he said, you might well go ahead and get a bigger, larger amount so you don't have to do that. You don't have to come back here every hour. Just go ahead and get your bigger quantity and thing. But no, I don't need it. I ain't trying to spend that money. But in reality, you end up spending that money anyway. So, it's like, it's that drug, man. I mean, you you give up your soul in order just to get high. I used to let a drug dealer borrow my car. He'd give me some drugs. I let him borrow my car, and I don't even know whether he's coming back with the car or not. Well, I'm just sitting there praying that he coming back with my car. I know it sounds funny now, but it's like, please come back with my car. I done smoked the drug you gave me. I done smoked it now. You got my car riding around. And luckily for God, he came back. He kept on coming back. But I was willing to do them type things those days just to get some drugs. Just to live. We laugh at it and stuff like that, and we joke, but when you have that family member out there and they out there getting high and you don't know where they at and how they doing, whether they're alive, whether they dead, that's a real bad feeling. You just don't know where they at. That's a real hard thing. You want them to get clean. Come on, get clean, man. Just try to, before I die, just let me see you be able to live life over again. Be the person that you were. So we always thought that nobody knew we was getting high. You didn't know even though I was looking the way I was looking, looking bad and all that, I didn't think people knew I was getting high. Everybody knew but me. They knew I was getting high. But I'm trying to convince them I wasn't. No, I ain't getting high. I ain't doing nothing. They knew it. They knew I was doing something different. Because I was looking different. I wasn't the same person I was that they knew who I was. They know that. And we try to convince people that we're not. So people who are out there in addiction, people can tell you getting high. They know you doing what you're doing. So you got to learn how to enjoy life. We got to understand that people that's out there in addiction, that they want to get clean and they want to go to treatment and they hate hurting their family member, and it's not really them that's out there doing it, but it's just something about that drug, and it's something about that drug that makes me keep on coming back. That I'm bigger than that drug. I'm able to use that drug without being addicted to it. But that drug can make you do some things you really can't understand that it will make you do. So you got to understand, you got to stop using. And for all those that's died, and those that still using, all you can do is tell your family member, I love you. I hope you want to get your life together, but if you don't, you got to make that decision. Because I can't keep you clean. You got to keep you clean. And that's the crazy thing about this thing, and through all the things that we going through life, we got killings going on, we got financial things people trying to deal with and all and we're just trying to just make it through this thing called life. Now you got to add that drug on to the whole problem. So, I'm coming to the end of my show. I just wanted to let y'all know that, yes, I'm just blessed just to be on a show, just to be alive today. And, I want to give thanks to Exposure, to my family, for allowing me to be on the show, and just giving thanks to God just for letting me be here one more day, just to try to take advantage of time, because with every minute that I got, I need to learn how to take advantage of it, and because with God, everything is possible. All things are possible. So thank you for allowing me to tell you a little bit about myself. Paul Brown, I'm the host of Paul Brown, so this is me. But that's who I was. But this is who I am right now. So thank you for letting me come into your show, and you be encouraged. Thank you.